All right, welcome back everybody. This is lesson 6.6, writing and solving inequalities video lesson. So I'm going to do this today without students to see if we can reduce the size of the video just a little bit. Make sure that you pause, fast forward, rewind as much as you need to make sure that you understand. Fill out the notes. So here we go. The first part of our notes today, we're going to be matching the verbal sentences with the inequality. So we read it, 4 times the difference of a number and 7 is no more than 15. So we have to look and see which one of those would match. 4 times the difference of a number and 7. So I'm coming down here, I'm seeing 4 times difference means subtraction. So I come down here and I look, here's 2 subtraction problems. So I know I have to pick between those 2. No more than 15. Well, the difference of a number and 7, no more than 15, that's going to be this one right here. No more than means it can't be 15, or it can be 15, so the equal sign is there. Next, number 2, 7 times the sum of a number and 4 is at least 15. So at least means it can be 15. So we're looking for one of these that has the equal sign on there. 7 times the sum of a number and 4. So I'm taking 7 times that sum is greater than or equal to 15. The sum of 7 times the number and 4 is more than 15. So greater than 15, and the difference of 4 times the number and 7 is less than 15. That is my last one. So leave that on there just a little bit so you have time to take those down, look at them, remind yourself. We're going to move on to the next page. All right, these are common words that you will see when you are doing these types of problems, when you are writing your own inequalities. Better value. You want to know, is your product less than this product? Which one is going to be the better value? You'd use less than. Is less than, fewer would be all examples for less than. Move on here to greater than. Talk about profit, or is more than. Down here to less than or equal to, no more than, at most, maximum. Those would be words that if you saw those, that would tell you to use the less than or equal to sign. Minimum, at least, and no less than are all examples of words that you would use for greater than or equal to. And let me just write those signs in there. This is less than, this is greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So we're now going to write sentences from sentences into inequalities. So we're going to have to translate these words into mathematical symbols. So 3 times a number increased by 5 is no more than 17. Well, the first part we have a nice little comma there that kind of tells us where we have a separate thing going on. 3 times a number, that would look like 3 times x. 3 times a number increased by 5. See the word increase, that means we're going to add 5, is no more than 17. So can it be 17? Yes. So that means I have an equal sign there, but it cannot be more than, so I have to be less than or equal to 17. And then I would solve. Subtract 5, 3x is less than or equal to 12, divide by 3, x is less than or equal to 4, graphed on a number line, 4 goes in the middle, 3, 5, closed circle, going to the left because it's less than or equal to 4. Now if I want to check, I could check it with 3, 2, 1, 0. I always like to pick with 0 if I can. So I'm going to take 3 times 0 because I'm plugging into the original equation. And then I'm going to add 5. It's going to be less than or equal to 17. Well, we know 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 has to be less than or equal to 17. 5 is less than or equal to 17. That is true. So I know that I did my work correct. Moving on. Here we have one that we have to be a little bit careful with. 5 times the difference of a number and 10 is at least 30. So this is going to look a little bit different. We have our 5 out front, and this is where we have to use our distributive property. The difference of a number and 10. That's going to look like x minus 10, because difference means subtraction, is at least 30. We said earlier at least is greater than or equal to 30. And then I would solve with the distributive property. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 10 is negative 50. Is greater than or equal to 30. And then I would solve. Plus 50, plus 50. 5x greater than or equal to 80. Divide by 5, divide by 5. X is greater than or equal to 16. And then I could graph it over here. 16 goes in the middle. 15, 17. It's going to be closed circle going to the right because it's greater than 16. Then I could check it. I'm going to check with 20 because 20, if I'm going to subtract 10, that's nice and easy. So I'm going to take 5 times 20 minus 10 is greater than or equal to 30. Notice I used the original equation. I just plug it in. Solve the parentheses first. 5 times 20 minus 10 is 10. Has to be greater than or equal to 30. 50 is greater than or equal to 30. And I'm done because that was true. All right, one more example. Then we'll do a word problem. All right, 12 less than 6 times the number is less than 2 times the number. Wow, big one. All right, we've got 2 where it says less than. Well, what is the difference here? This one has the word is less than. That is going to show us, that's where our inequality symbol is going to be. Is less than, or is greater than, or is at least. That's where the inequality symbol goes. This less than here refers to subtraction. So we're going to go ahead and write that 12 less than 6 times the number. Well, 6 times the number, and I want 12 less than that, so I'm going to subtract 12. Is less than 2 times the number. 2 times the number would be n, or 2x, or whatever variable you want to use there. So now I have my inequality set up, and I can solve. For this one, I want to get my variables on one side, my constants on the other. So in this example, I'm going to move my 6n over here. So I'm going to subtract it, minus 6n, minus 6n. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Well, it's a positive, so I have to subtract from here. Subtract 6n. What's left over here? Negative 12 is less than 2 minus 6 is negative 4n. Divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. When I divide by a negative, I have to remember to flip my inequality symbol. So negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. Flip the inequality symbol. So 3 is greater than n. Now when I go to graph this, I do not want my variable on the right. I want to move my variable to the left. So I'm going to move it over there. And when I do that, I have to flip the sign back so it says n is less than 3. N is less than 3. Flip the sign back then because I moved the variable to the left. Now I can graph. 3, 2, 4. Open circle going to the left because it's less than 3. Ooh, good for me. I can use my favorite number to check, 0. So I go back to my original equation. 6 times 0 minus 12 has to be less than 2 times 0. Well, 0 minus 12 less than 0. Negative 12 is less than 0. That is true. So everything is good. It worked out just fine. Be careful with these when you see these difference, less than, is less than. Watch carefully when you go to those. Next problem. Kevin is going to join a swim club. There's a $45 initiation fee. It costs $28 for each month that he is a member. Kevin has only $300 to pay for the membership. How many months can he be a member? So we're going to go ahead and answer that question. I know that no matter what, I have to pay that $45. So I know I have to pay my fee plus my monthly cost. Has to be less than or equal to, because I only have $300. I can't spend more than $300, so it's got to be less than or equal to $300, my total. And my total is 300, so I'm going to put my total over here. So now I can fill that in. What is my variable? How many months? So x equals number of months. All right, so my fee is $45 plus the monthly cost, which is $28 per month. How would that look? $28 times the number of months has to be less than or equal to the total of 300. Now I can solve this by subtracting 45. Subtracting 45. 28x is less than or equal to, I'm going to do this math here for you guys. Divide, borrow from the 3 becomes 10, borrow from the 10 becomes 9. 10, we have 5, 9 minus 4 is 5, 255. So 28x is less than or equal to 255 divided by 28, divided by 28. So I do that, 255 divided by 28. Well, it does not go in there at all. So let's see here, does it go in there 9 times? 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 5, plus 7 is 25. So it went in there 9 times. We had a remainder here, 3, 9.1, and notice it's going to keep on going. Now, do I really need to continue that out? Not really, because it's asking me how many months can he be a member. Well, 9.1, you can't buy a membership for 9.1 months. Could he be a member for 9 months? Yeah. So x is going to be less than or equal to 9 months. He could be a member for 9 months or 8 months or 7 months, anything less than 9. And if we graph that, we'd put our 9 in the middle, 8 over here, 10 over here, close circle, going to the left. And if I want to check it, I could check that. And we're not going to use 0 this time just because we're dealing with months and we know he wants to be a member. But let's just do something easy like 2. So we could do 45 plus 28 times 2 has to be less than or equal to 300. So 28 times 2 is 56 plus 45, 101 is less than or equal to 300. That is true, so I'm happy. So there's my final answer. All right, your assignment is page 326 through 328, 1 through 12, 18, 19, 20. The rest of the day is yours to work. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.